Hello everyone on YouTube, welcome back to one of my videos. My name is Lucario. And yes, I am Ginger. Get over it. I forgot to put my beanie on. That's the first draft of the video, I'm going for it. So, essentially, as you can see by the title, I am starting a new series where I commentate over a video. It's a series and not a single video, because the video I'm commentating on is a commentary that's over 40 minutes long. YouTube won't let me upload a video that's over an hour. So, this is episode 1. So, essentially, the video is called a Bop Charm Christmas commentary. Now, that in and of itself is a problem, because it was not Christmas when this video came out. It's thoroughly retarded. But, even then, whatever. We're going to commentate on it anyway, because it's a silly video with Gale Force in it. Of course I'm going to roast it. Let's go.
What happened? Did I doze off while editing?
Wow, he even bores himself. That's impressive since even Meta probably laughed at his own jokes.
And here's a problem that actually is being used multiple times throughout your commentaries, Eric. You talk over what he says. I know it doesn't really have much to do with the video, but that's just rude.
Okay, Sean, look. I know from having to rewatch your Mario power-ups list an ungodly amount of times that you have a camera that isn't bolted to the floor.
Happy late birthday!
Why go the lazy route and just take a picture of your hand? I think I just answered my own question.
Why the hell bring up his Mario power-ups commentary if it has nothing to do with this one? At all. It doesn't relate in any way other than the fact that it was made by the same content creator.
Speaking of lazy, you didn't even bother to try and get a close facsimile to the font of the world ends with U. I googled TWEWY timer font and found, as the first result, the goddamn font as a download.
Maybe his computer is not powerful enough to be able to download that, and maybe his computer decided to screw him over.
You didn't even try to properly center the text on your hand. Yes, that is a nitpick, but damn is it fucking annoying to look at.
I wouldn't say he didn't try. If you know it's a nitpick, then why are you making the nitpick? You do realise how retarded nitpicks are as I mess with it.
If you're gonna reference something, you better not do it half-heartedly, or you will look like you're a, say it with me,
Lazy cocksucker.
YouTube ad services? Help me?
And I know just the topic to cover. Pokemon. The series where you capture and train these awesome creatures to become the very best like no one ever was.
To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause.
That is the most cringy thing I've ever seen, Gale. Even from you.
Holy shit, he's actually playing clips from Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness and acknowledging the Aura games here.
Haha. Gale of Darkness. Patronizing.
These are my top 5 dark and creepy things in Pokemon.
You were going to complain about Chaoski being lazy here, then why don't you complain that he was lazy in his intro slide? That's just about as lazy as you claim him to be.
These dark and creepy things can range from anything in the series.
Anything?
Better see some manga action, maybe a little anime here and there, and if you dare leave out Explores the Sky.
Oh god, that goddamn toaster in Gen 5 freaked me out. It better be on here, or I'm subbing just to unsub!
Seriously? Like, what? TP, I didn't really think you were that kind of a disrespectful person who would disregard someone for their fears. Gale had previously done that. So I honestly expect her to say that.
The pun doesn't get any funnier nor any more clever the more it's used. I have no idea how often it's been used, nor do I really care to find out. All I know is... Can I play the clip? That clip from my solo commentary, you know the one. Can I play it? Chugga Conroy, you are not. I rest my case.
First of all, Gale, this is once again you evidence of you being hypocritical about video padding. I don't care about video padding, especially considering this video is 40 minutes and is almost completely full of padding. But considering the fact that you complain at someone like Tricky Wee for padding her video out for 6 seconds when you pad it out for 9 seconds. And even then, name-dropping someone as irrelevant on YouTube as Chugga Conroy is not the most overused joke in the world.
The first generation.
He says while showing footage from the Gen 3 remakes.
Oh, for God's sake, Gale, how could you be so retarded and snobby that you would complain at him for that? How shallow could you be? Me, Lucario, and today we are back with episode number 2 of our trolling around on Master TP's channel. Nah, just kidding, we're just going to be doing part 2 of commentating over a Bop Charm Christmas. But if you saw the title, then you're a little bit of a tard if you didn't figure that out. Guys, I'm doing the lighting exactly the same.
I'm gonna let Gale cover this.
Oh no, it's unknown spooky. Seriously, dude, if the unknowns creep you out, you spent way too much time watching the third Pokemon movie.
This is just comedy gold. Seriously, Gale. Once again, mocking someone for their fears. I thought Tricky was enough. Well, you clearly disagree. This was earlier in the video than I left off in the last episode of this series, but I missed it out, and it was so painful that I missed it out that I just had to put it here, okay? Okay, just go away. Actually, don't. I want your views.
Off-screen death. Explicit. Look, I know it was a joke, but what I'm trying to say is, your joke is shit.
Oh no, it's like death is a real life concept or something.
Okay then, TP, well, there's something you've got to say. If something is child-friendly because it's a real-life concept, then does that mean that torture, war, or what can I say that won't get me demonetized? Homicides, people reselling PewDiePie merch, that they're kid-friendly just because they're real-life concepts? No. Just like, no. That's not the way it works, mate.
Besides, they never show how the Marowak died or describe how the event occurred. They just said that Team Rocket was responsible for killing Akibone's mother. It's sad and admittedly dark, but that doesn't mean it's not kid-friendly.
I'm sorry, but is this the video you're commentating on? Is it the top 5 least kid-friendly things in Pokemon, or the top 5 most dark and creepy things in Pokemon? Which is it? Make up your mind on what you're commentating on. And Master, I thought you were actually pretty good at that. Huh. Contradiction. Speaking of contradiction...
How is that shit explicit when that Marowak's death happened off-screen? You want an example of an actual on-screen death that messed with kids' heads, yet it happened in an E-rated game?
I'm a kid, therefore no.
Here. Moral of the story, kids. Dark stuff can happen in an E-rated game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you'd be considered a little bit of a tard if you didn't figure out that dark things can happen in an E-rated game. So yeah, you couldn't be more thick if you thought that everything in an E-rated game needs to be unicorns and cotton candy and stuff like that.
Hell, it's not just games. There are plenty of G-rated movies where main characters that aren't villains die on screen.
Mufasa! No!
That, for example.
Last I checked, Mufasa's death was off screen too. And not only that, but The Lion King was an animated film, not a live-action film.
This town is also home to the Pokemon Tower, which is basically a giant Pokemon graveyard. The tower is haunted by ghosts, it's full of Chandlers who are possessed by ghosts, and before you can reach the top floor, you encounter the restless ghost of Cubone's mother, a Marowak. Only by defeating it can you calm this weary spirit. The music, at least in the original games, was a very unsettling tune.
Yeah, the only reason that music was unsettling in the original games was because it was 8-bit. If you listen to the song in the Gen 3 games, it's actually quite calming and nice to listen to, at least in my opinion.
You can't really say that the only reason that the Lavender Town music was disturbing was because it was in 8-bit. I'm sorry, but he did specify in the original games. So yeah, your point is kind of nullified. I don't need the Yu-Gi-Oh community complaining at me what the word nullify means. Just shut up.
Even when I played the original games as a kid, I never found Lavender Town's theme to be creepy or unsettling, just grating on the ears.
Okay, so honestly, what the hell does your child experiences a time when you were probably numb to a bunch of creepy things because you just didn't notice got to do with any of this? Exactly, it doesn't.
And the ghost sprite from the original is kinda creepy with that disturbing derpy face. Ugh.
Derpy equals scary. Duly noted, DDD is now the scariest Kirby boss.
I just don't know what went
Oh
wrong.
no, not this again, not this again!
Just because something is derpy doesn't mean it necessarily isn't scary or necessarily is cute. You know? Like, seriously, if you want to see something that's derpy that is at the same time scary, or in this metaphor pathetic, then take a look at this.
But the reason why it's so low on the list is because in later games, the town's creepy factor kinda went away.
That would be because in the Johto games, Lavender Town is no longer a cemetery town. The Pokemon Tower is just another radio station, and all the graves were moved to Mr. Fuji's house. The creepy factor wore off in Gen 2 because Gen 2 Lavender Town wasn't intended to be creepy.
Yeah, that's basically just a place where you cut into the video to pad the runtime out by saying, I agree with you. Even though if you're trying to disprove some of the points he made in his video, you shouldn't really be saying that. At all.
Plus, I really wouldn't say this is the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
Wait,
Don't get
the
me
number
wrong,
5 entry
I
on a
still
list
find
of
the
creepy
town to
things
have
from
a creepy
Pokemon
factor
isn't the
to it.
creepiest thing from
It's just
Pokemon?
the
Well,
only
color
reason why
me
this list
surprised.
seems-
Okay, so if you want to be this way, go ahead. It doesn't really affect me unless I actually meet you personally. But the thing is, TP, why do you have to be impulsive, sarcastic, and annoying, and overall just retarded? Like, seriously, no need to be that disrespectful. I mean, seriously, you know what someone who's more popular than you, but at the same time looks just as disrespectful as you? Logan Paul. Ding! So anyways, guys, I think that's where I'm going to round the video off, because I've been working on this video so incredibly hard. I've been trying so hard to squeeze content out of this video to get it to 10 minutes. Ha! Anyway, so yeah. I'm going to end off the video here because I just want to get this video out because it's really annoying me that I haven't done it yet. So we're going to continue this video next episode, which hopefully should be up in a few weeks. But I have actually got another Escapist episode coming out soon. Bet you didn't see that coming, did you? Either way, goodbye. Hello there everyone, welcome back to one of my videos. My name is lucario, and today I am bringing you part 3 of the Bop Charm Christmas series. Yes, I know it's been far too long since the last one, but that's simply because of the way I was editing them. It was taking far too long to record them, the way I was doing it, so I decided to rant over gameplay footage, similar to the way I was in the first Felicify video. And just to say, Felicify will be back on the channel if you want to see another video on him, because I do still have plenty more to say about Felicify. I just didn't want to have to go record another 20 minutes of gameplay in order to just rant over it, instead of just shifting through unedited photos at varying, like, picture resolutions. So either way, we are going for part 3, and now I'm just going to do each part as a number in the countdown that they're criticizing. That because it's a video, like, I'm commentating over a video by Gale Force, of course. It's Master TP10, who's another Pokemon commentator, and Zerric, which is another Pokemon commentator. None of them are very big in the YouTube world, but at the end of the day, they're still bigger than me, so I don't really think that I'm punching down on them, and I'm more punching up. But either way, let's get into the video, starting with the beginning of their criticism of number 4 on Chaoski's list.
In Black and White, if you go to the Marvelous Bridge, there's a chance you'll encounter a mysterious ghost girl. An old woman tells of a girl who used to play with her Abra during a time before Marvelous Bridge was built. Fast forward to Black 2 and White 2, you'll come across the Strange House, which is a house known for a sad incident that is said to keep people away. The inside of this house is an absolute wreck, making you ask questions like, why is this house in ruins? What happened to the people who lived here? Why are the bookshelves downstairs talking about Dream Eater Pokemon?
Must resist urge to make Hypno's Lullaby reference.
And for goodness sake, why are those objects moving? This is some really messed up shit.
Hi, joke lifted from one of Josh Gorcher's videos. How's the weather?
Many thoughts tug at you as you walk through the desolate landscape, such as, this is the fate of everything if I don't succeed. I wasn't fast enough to save all of these innocent people. Is this what nothing is like? Is this what hell is like?
And my favorite one? Goodness gracious alive! How long do I have to keep walking before something happens? Oh, hi, Ruined Tone. Seriously, you set up a perfect tone that actually kept me invested. Strange for a Chaos Key video. But nope! Screw audience investment. You had to shoehorn in a reference to Josh because you can't make your own jokes, and anytime you try, it's nothing more than shitty puns or some shit.
Even if it wasn't meant as a reference to Josh, it still breaks the created investment due to the sudden and jarring change of tone in your voice and attitude. By making the changes less severe, even if investment to the overall atmosphere dropped, it still would have flowed better and not killed the tension you were creating. Also, Gail, what the fuck are you doing? I'm pretty sure that the background is not This Is Halloween.
So you question what the hell?
You know what? Fuck it. Finish up with what you're doing.
Children, you were not clever. Now you'll stay with me forever.
So you question what the hell Gale is doing now? I mean, seriously, why don't you look at the rest of Gale Force's career, and then you question her now on what the hell she's doing? And also, seriously, Hypno's Lullaby reference? Really? I mean, seriously, that song is one of the most overrated things ever. I mean, seriously, it wasn't even an original backing track. Must resist urge to make context reference.
Are we done?
As you explore the house, furniture that was blocking your path earlier suddenly moves out of your way for you to explore more. And then, you find the ghost of a girl who rambles on about an everlasting dark dream. And then she asks where her mom, her dad, and her... Wait, Abra? Don't tell me. Is this the same girl? Yep. And when you run into the girl again, she'll talk about how she supposedly heard her father's voice telling her to stay with him and forget about the Lunar Wing. Lunar Wing. You mean the thing that has to deal with Cresselia? So you reach the final room and discover a Lunar Wing, only to have the ghost girl appear again, explaining to you that she was waiting on Marvelous Bridge to return the Lunar Wing to Cresselia. And then she vanishes. So, what exactly happened here? It's obvious the girl died before she returned the Lunar Wing to Cresselia, but how did she die? Well, while it hasn't been confirmed, it's assumed that Darkrai killed her with its power of inducing nightmares in people's sleep.
Darkrai killing a little girl? Not E for explicit enough. Needs more creepypastas and hyper-realistic blood.
Too hyper-realistic!
Oh my god. This proves that you had no cooperation at all. Because earlier on in the video, not too long ago, Gale Force had said that the joke is not more funny the more it's used. And making that whole, Chugga Conroy, you are not meme. And while that's true, the thing is, you criticized E for explicit more than once. And the thing is, he knows that using a joke over and over again makes it less funny. So why don't you? And also, that proves that you are hypocritical for never having any cooperation, because in both Bob Charm's Civil War and Here Comes Bob Charm, both of those videos you criticize your opposition for not cooperating a lot in those videos. And while that's definitely true of them, it's true here of you as well. Because you had no cooperation at all. I mean, seriously.
Platinum's Darkrai event did it better. Yeah, it's a special event, so unless you were able to get the member card item that triggered the event in-game, or you have an action replay and use a cheat to get said item, you won't even be able to see the Darkrai events in Platinum. But even if you can't do that, there are videos of it online. Seriously, there's a link for one in the description.
Still counts as anything, by the way, so no you.
Platinum's Darkrai event involves the player character. The player character is putting him or herself in danger to face Darkrai directly. You go to New Moon Island in your nightmare to face Darkrai. You have to defeat or capture Darkrai in order to find out the truth about it. The truth? Darkrai isn't actively malicious. What makes the whole Darkrai thing even worse is that it's implied through the "though you don't will it" quote after capturing or defeating Darkrai, that Darkrai doesn't even have full control over its power of sending people and Pokemon into eternal nightmares. You seem to imply that Darkrai is actively malicious in what occurred at the Strange House, when the member card Darkrai event in Platinum shows that Darkrai can't even control its own power. How is that not any worse than the Strange House event in Black 2 and White 2?
Because maybe Darkrai had learned to use its power. And you could say, well, you have no evidence for that. But A, there's no evidence against it. And B, when you actually show quotes from the game that are supposed to show that Darkrai had no control over its power, well, the quote you used didn't really back up your point at all. I mean, seriously. It did not back up your point whatsoever if you read it. And even then, you don't give direct credit in your video to the clip. Like, you do leave a link in the description, but you don't say in the video, this is by this, etc, etc. So the thing is, at that point, maybe I'm just lost for words, because this is so incredibly cringy. And even then, you go off on a tangent about how you can see the member card event. And I'm sorry, but a Pokemon fan who would be interested in watching a Pokemon themed video would probably already know that an event from a few years ago is over. So, no you. Yeah, just shut up.
Speaking of the Strange House in and of itself, the only reason I had so much to say in response here was because I've seen the member card Darkrai Platinum event for myself. The only reason I had much to say here at all was because I was comparing the Strange House event to something else. To tell the truth, I really don't have much to say solely about the Strange House event. I haven't played Black 2 and White 2 in a while, but seriously, I really don't remember much about my experiences checking out the Strange House when I played through Black 2 and White 2. When I don't even remember much of my own experiences going through that event, then it must not be all that creepy to me. Think about that for a bit.
It makes sense.
Okay, so I know I screwed up the cut there, but that was put in there for comedic relief. But either way, I'm just going to say, Gale, that you use the phrase I a lot. And first of all, there's no I in team, and B, I'm sorry, but unfortunately, you weren't the person who made the list. So how is your personal experience a valid point? Exactly, it isn't.
said it would be Darkrai since the girl says, "Everlasting Dark Dream." And the voice that the girl thought was her father's could have actually been Darkrai trying to keep her away from the Lunar Wing, which is said to get rid of nightmares. This is easily one of the darkest and most disturbing moments in Pokemon I've seen so far.
Yet it's only number 4. GG on the wording there. G motherfucking G.
It's shocking to even think what could have actually happened to this innocent child. May she rest in peace.
Who got the whiplash? Look, your normal transitions don't usually bother me. They're not really out of place in your other countdowns, and they do their job. But for this list, I take issue with them. Why? This is supposed to be a list about the creepiest shit the Pokemon series has to offer, and the tone you try and go for, the imagery, and the music all try to create this unsettling atmosphere. And for brief moments in your countdown, they can actually happen. Then you try and go to the next segment, and what are we greeted with? A clip ripped from Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories and a guitar riff. Neither one complimenting the atmosphere, but rather taken away from it. This sudden and jarring change is further highlighted by your lack of fading out, making your transition come seemingly out of nowhere. You could have easily reworked your transitions, or how you led into them, to make them seem less awkward, while still keeping the tone you tried to create. Instead, we get certain Keanu Reeves.
Now, obviously, I have a lot to say here, but the first thing is that I'm sorry, Zerric, but what you just said was pretty rude and condescending. So shut up. And also, I'm sorry, Master TP, but unfortunately, if you have an opinion that goes against what he did and you didn't like what he did, fine. But how is that proof that it's an objectively bad video? It's just what you think is bad, not what is objectively bad. So, yeah, your opinion on how bad his transitions are don't really add anything to the video at all. So, next time you actually want to have an opinion against someone, just use when you actually have an opinion against someone, don't use it in a civilized attack. I mean commentary. Because that's what commentaries are. They're just diss videos that are just called commentaries. Simply because that's what Pokemon does. They do commentaries, not diss videos, because otherwise it's just not innocent enough. But either way, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. My name is lucario, and I am signing off of this video. Have a great day. Hello everyone on YouTube, welcome back to all of my videos. My name is lucario, and today we are back again with the Bop Charm Christmas series, because I'm really determined to finish this series before the end of February. So that's what my goal is. So each episode is going to be part of the list that they commentate over. So today we are going to start commentating over their comments of part number 4 on Kirski's list. I'm going to have some Pokken in the background, but just please don't get distracted that I suck. I really do. I cannot play Blaziken well to any stretch of the imagination, because I'd never used him before, so I was essentially doing this to give him have a bit of a look. And I hadn't played Pokken in a while before this either. I haven't played Pokken since the last Pokken tournament video, and that was a while ago. So, yeah. So, let's jump into it then. Let's go.
It wouldn't be a dark and creepy Pokemon list without bringing up the Pokedex.
You know, that encyclopedia of Pokemon entries that many fans have reason to believe are written in-game by kids?
You could literally make a top 10 list from just disturbing Pokedex entries alone. But since Jay Witz already does this, I'm just gonna talk about the ones that creep me out the most.
Oh no! Someone who you didn't need a name drop got to a topic before you! I guess it means you can't do it anymore. Isn't that right, Top 15 Mario Power-Up?
I'm sorry, but name-dropping people doesn't ultimately matter unless it's done in the title. which it wasn't. So, to use a phrase you used, no you. So, yeah. Ooh, pardon me there. So, and also, as to what Gail had to say, you discredit the entire Pokédex because of a fan theory. You know, a fan theory that had little to no evidence to speak of. Yeah, sure.
Am I the only one who finds it kinda funny that he's using an obviously hacked Pokédex? I know in the long run it doesn't matter, but this feels out of laziness that could easily bleed over into the rest of the list since it only takes a few seconds to turn out the shiny code in the emulator of your choice. Or hell, just find a regular completed Pokédex.
Specifically, the Pokédex entries of the Chandelure line. Reading these entries really make me question why these games are rated E.
Because they are optional things that most people are at most going to glance over after they caught the mod. There's also this whole thing of them never happening on screen. Ever. Also, isn't this a cop-out since this is more than one for an entry?
Litwick's
No it isn't, because that's not what a cop-out is. A cop-out is something that is made intentionally obvious to the point where it is cringy. And that's not what just happened, so no you. As well as the fact that you do realise that people don't always gloss over Pokédex entries as soon as they caught the Pokemon. If they did, you wouldn't have been able to hear him say the Pokédex entry. So, shut up.
Pokédex entry states that it pretends to be a guide in the dark, when it's really just absorbing the life force of those that follow it to fuel the light on its head. Considering the Celestial Tower and the previously mentioned Strange House are full of Litwick and a bunch of trainers, yeah, I don't want to think about what could happen. Lampent appears right when someone dies and takes their spirit away. They even so much as hang around hospitals for patients to die.
At least they're waiting for the patients to die first instead of killing the patients themselves. I can think of other Pokédex entries where the mons in question are much more malicious than that. Frostlass, for example, freezes its victims and puts the resulting frozen statues on display. Dino eats anything that moves, and its fully evolved form of Hydreigon will attack, consume, or destroy anything and everything it comes across.
Well, it clearly doesn't. Because if you catch a Hydreigon, it doesn't try to eat you. And you could say, well, that's just the Pokédex. But sure. Because the Pokédex had also talked about Cubone's dead mother, which it had actually proved in-game to be a fact because of the whole Marowak situation. I know that it talked about that in Entry 1, but still. As well as the fact that, I'm sorry, but it's honestly a lot more creepy that it just waits to die. For me, personally. And you could say, it's not your list, so you can't put in your personal opinions when doing a commentary video, but you did that when talking about the Strange House event and Darkrai. So, no you.
You're saying that a mon that waits for its victims to die first is creepier than mons that actively pursue living victims? Even with subjectivity being taken into account, the type of subjectivity seen in these kinds of lists should still have some sense of logic behind it.
So you're telling me the light that people see when they die is actually this lamp with arms? Man, no wonder people say not to go into the light when someone is about to die.
Lamps? No! And we just killed our punching bag.
Well, maybe this wouldn't have happened if you two used your damn psychic powers.
I'm sorry, but A, psychic is weak to ghosts, so that'd be risky. And B, I'm sorry, but Zoroark can learn psychic type moves like extrasensory as well. And not only that, but Dark type is a better type position to go up against a Ghost type with. So, I'm sorry, but your video padding, which, because Gail was in a video with this video padding, of course she had no problem with, like, it's a Gale Force video with video padding in it. I'm sorry, but she hates padding when it's done for 6 seconds, but this is done for 8. So, stop being hypocritical, Gail. And get on your friend's case when they do something wrong.
The fuck are you talking about?
You're both fucking psychic types!
Can't you learn psychic type attacks?
How about we get a new one? Hey, Hobbs!
Come on, man. Don't tell me you're scared of a little light.
Oh, hi, original McCharacter. Nice to see that you take after your cousin Donut Steele in the originality department.
Wait, doesn't this mean the cameo is also dead?
I wouldn't have my headcanon any other way.
Your username references Kingdom Hearts, for frick's sake.
Oh look, Kaski is such an egotist that he made his cameo follow his own bullshit ideology of the no swearing club.
In fact, to everyone watching, what's wrong with some of us not wanting to swear? Maybe we're just trying to show more decency than the average person. Maybe we're just trying to set a good example for the youngins. And besides, it's like what Stuttering Craig said in that one top 10. You don't need to cuss to get your point across.
How childish. Even Josh let Alex swear in their co-op instead of forcing him to oblige his ideology.
I'm sorry, but you call him childish for not wanting to swear, when complaining about swearing in and of itself is honestly more childish. And if you can't see that, then you're childish.
Josh, that's a big fucking cake. That's a big fucking cake. Fucking.
Now, just for clarification, that was meant to be censored, and the fact that it wasn't simply meant that Josh overlooked it when editing. That said, it also tells me that Alex doesn't have to tone himself down whenever he does something for Josh. I do not get that for your cameo. Why do I know he has to tone himself down? How about we take a look at the countdown he released 4 days after your own?
I don't think a song in a game has consistently made me say, oh shit, more than this one. Oh shit, what is that? Ah shit, there's another. Oh shit, they're everywhere. Ah shit, they have spikes now? Hey there, you're looking pretty fancy. Fuck.
So it's clear to me that if you didn't write your cameo's lines, your cameo's script was influenced by your ideology and cussing. And if somehow it wasn't, how you acted there doesn't help convince me otherwise. Oh, and while we still have this here, I want to say a couple of things, namely the why for that rant's existence. According to Miss Anna's story, she was being made fun of because she was using shoe as a substitute for swearing. Have you considered the possibility that they were making fun of Miss A not because she refused to swear, but the way she went about that? So, not only were you being condescending as fuck, but it could have been unwarranted.
Well, your little rant about swearing, which was approximately, actually no, longer than his, was just as condescending and just as unwarranted, if not more. So, once again, another Gale Force video that's hypocritical in its what it has to say. So, shut up.
Speaking of assumptions, assuming that Josh and Maverick don't swear because they want to set an example. Because, you know, maybe they just don't swear in general. And while it's true that you don't need to swear to get something across, whether one wants to or not is their choice, and they shouldn't be chastised because they want to. And unlike you, I don't need some vague source to tell you that.
Didn't you say you liked the element of light?
Well, yeah, but...
Have you been a sham all along?
No! I am the Keyblade Warrior of Light, Chaos, and Shout!
You just called yourself a giant key-wielding soldier of bright shit, disorderly conduct, and speaking really loudly. That must be the most ridiculous thing I've heard someone call themselves unironically.
But when Gale calls herself the Espion who specializes in commentaries on PokeTubers, that's not condescending enough for you to talk about. Human confirmation bias at its finest.
Seriously, congrats! You've just made the Autark Flames name sound fucking budged by comparison.
Ugh, great. I just got my internal bleeding from cringe fixed. Give me your PO so I can mail you the hospital bill later.
Want a lamp for your room?
I am the Keyblade Warrior of Light, Chaos, and oh no, a lamp! It's scary.
Okay, I think you've overstayed your welcome. Goodbye.
Aw, but he was the best part of the video.
And original McCharacter was never heard from again. May he rest in spaghetti forever.
And yet, you don't get a copyright claim for that, and you don't get demonetized for breaking copyright law, yet Philip DeFranco gets demonetized for reporting the news. Yeah, YouTube, thanks.
And there's Chandelure. Its white Pokedex entry says that being consumed in its flame burns up the spirit, leaving the body of that person behind. So let me get this straight, Dexter.
Don't you just love when someone talking about the games references something that's only a thing in the anime?
Dexter, why the hell are you carrying a serial killer in your pocket?
Dee get out of my laboratory!
I'm sorry, but if making a commentary about, like, I'm making a comment about how it's bad to make an anime reference in a video that primarily focuses on the games, I'm sorry, but maybe it was something called a joke. And if it was, the point of a joke, it's something you don't have to take seriously, and in fact probably shouldn't. So don't take it seriously. Also, how the hell is a Pokedex a serial killer? As well as the fact that if it's okay to, like I said, make a commentary about how it's a problem, talk about to make an anime reference in a video games video, then how is it not bad that in a Pokemon video that mainly focuses on a YouTube video about the main series, is it bad that you talk as if you're from the Detective Pikachu video game? As well as the fact, like, laboratory? And people say that Nathaniel Bandy can't talk.
Where are we even going with this?
You're telling me these living, floating light fixtures leave behind dead corpses?
I don't see any mention of Chandelure actively pursuing and killing victims in any of its Pokédex entries, except for maybe its Dex entry in black, but that's debatable. And it still doesn't change the fact that the Dino and Hydreigon entries are much more consistent in their claims of how malicious they are.
And when these spirits get burned up by its flame, they lose their way and wander the world. Forever. Yeah, suddenly I don't want this Pokemon on my team anymore.
So you're dissuaded from using a Pokemon because of a Pokedex entry, something that not only never happens in-game, but if it were to happen, is easily preventable. Do you by any chance sleep with bubble wrap on?
First of all, how on earth is it easily preventable? Second of all, how the hell does he sleep with bubble wrap on, yet you don't? And as far as what Gail said, correlation doesn't always equal causation. So it doesn't need to be consistent for it to always happen, is what I'm trying to say. So, in other words, yeah, sure. So I'm gonna close the video off there. My final thoughts for that were, hey, Chaos Key, they're making petty points at you again, just like the rest of their video. Seriously, this should be called, that video that you just posted should be called petty insults in all caps. In all fairness, I would have actually liked the video more if it was. Maybe I should re-upload the video. Nah, just kidding. What's up YouTube, it's me, Lucario, we're back again with another video. So, today I wanted to finally start working more on the Bob Charm Christmas series because I tried to get this finished in February. It is now, I believe, April, if my phone's right, which it normally is, so yeah, it's the 28th of April today. So, essentially, I just want to get this series finished, so I've got this episode and the next episode, which will be the finale to this, where they talk about Chaos Keys number 1. So if you want more information on how this series works, I would suggest you look at episode 2 to this series. It should be in the playlist. So take a look at that and watch me rant over unrelated gameplay footage again. So with that being said, let's get into it.
When you think of Johto, the word scary isn't really something that comes to mind.
When I think of Pokemon in general, the word scary doesn't come to mind.
Okay, that was pretty smug of you to say, and I remember in Bob Charm's Civil War, you complained at Gale for, like, saying that manga made good points, and while that is true and how it was smug too, it was a bit hypocritical, so And I know you were doomed to eventually become hypocritical, having Gale as what you call a close friend, but still.
With the exception of one area, the ruins of Alf. Now I know what you're thinking.
No, you don't.
Aquaman ejaculate on your granite countertop? You just earned yourself the Jumbo Mighty Thirsty.
The ruins of...
Oh my god, that was such an unnecessary cut for a stupid joke that A, isn't funny, and B, pads the video out. And hey Gale, where's your padding video complaints again?
Alf's scary? It's more of a tourist site than anything else.
Technically speaking, you don't have to be scary to be dark or creepy.
See, The Last of Us. Dark and creepy game, but not scary.
Unsettling if you ask.
Well, whether or not a game is scary is really up to the person playing it. For example, PewDiePie thought Slenderman scary, but would you consider it? I wouldn't.
Ask me. Heck, I even find those runes that have the unknown spell a message to be disturbing.
Yep, someone's definitely seen Spell of the Unknown too many times.
Alphabet soup! No!
But if you ask what really creeps me out in this area, it's this.
Ah! Oh wait, sorry, jumped the gun.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
This just goes back to what I said about Lavender Town's music. The only reason it sounds so unsettling is because it's in 8-bit.
But does the song being in 8-bit prove him wrong? No? Then shut up.
What would have been nice is if you played the version from Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver to see if it still sounds as creepy. In fact, allow me to play that right now. Nowhere near as unsettling if you ask me. Really, I think it just sounds weird.
If we're gonna
Unnecessary video padding just to give an opinion in a video that's supposed to be about facts and proving someone wrong. And why their video sucks. But now I just realised that it really doesn't, and it's that yours sucks. Just kidding, I didn't just realise that.
bring up scurry music, then why not make reference to Giratina's boss music?
Or the Distortion World theme, let's not forget that one.
What about New Moon Island's theme?
Ooh, you got me there.
I'm over here. Why did you scroll through all the radio stations when you could have easily just started at the unknown radio broadcast? Or
Why didn't you just start at the part of the video where you actually were making a point? Oh yeah, because if you did, that means the video would be like 5 minutes long, and that's not going to get you enough revenue, is it?
at least close enough so we didn't have to hear.
What even is this? Is this supposed to be the unknown? If so, what are they chanting? Is it some sort of message?
Did this guy go to the Tamashii School of Literary Analysis or something? Let me repeat myself from that video. Curtains blue!
Once again, why don't you just cut to you saying curtains blue, or hell, not be lazy and just say curtains blue again?
And it's still pretty unsettling today.
That's it. I'm taking Spell of the Unknown away now.
Then how are TV and I supposed to commentate on Captain Underpants?
A, get over yourself, 5-year-old, 20-year-old, whatever you are. And B, video padding. Gale, get on their case for it, please, if you got on Tricky Wee's case for it. And Arizo's case for it, I believe, as well.
And you know what? I don't know what this is, but I don't like it. Changing the channel now! Ah, that's better.
Oh god, it's the moon whiplash!
Good points. Yeah, I don't think you know what they are. And I'm really trying to remember my script really hard right now. But either way, just so you know, this video is garbage because you didn't even make any points at all. And you complain at him for not cutting to a specific point when you should have cut to a certain specific point in your video when you were actually making a point. But he was all at the same time making a point. So, shut up with your hypocrisy again, Gale. that just about does it for this episode of Let's Commentate. Smash the like button, smash subscribe, etc, etc, etc. Cough some more on the monitor while you smash the subscriber button into the computer monitor and break your fist. Okay guys, see you later. Hey guys, it's Lucario here, and today we are going to finally do the last episode of this stupid commentary series. So, I hope you guys are willing for the pain to go through with me, because this video's got Gale Force in it. I mean, you might as well put Velicify in it at this point. But anyway, hello. It's been far too long since I've uploaded, I know. And I'm sorry for having stupid, unrelated Garden Warfare 2 footage in the background that I recorded a few months ago. But at this point, my capture card won't work anymore. And stuff like that. So, leave me alone. So anyway, let's get into it. Roll the clip.
By now, you can see just how dark and creepy the Pokemon series can be at times.
Yeah, radio station, creepypastas, and alphabet soup.
Oh, so scurry, guys!
So yeah, mocking people for what they're scared of. Low.
So what could possibly be number 1? While the previous entry made me feel uneasy, at least you can change the radio signal to something else. Whereas number 1, it has to be seen in its entirety if you find it. And it's something that legitimately creeped me out when I saw it.
Prefacing this by mentioning how you can at least change the radio station so you cannot listen to the unknown thing. Keep that in mind, because that you can avoid it factor will bite him in the ass after he shows this next one.
Well, I'm pretty sure that your negative attitude will bite you in the rear end, Gale. Especially when I get to you.
What the f just happened?
Oh, nice job killing the mood! Again!
Hey look, you have your own sensor. So why couldn't your cameo swear again?
Because making up someone's sensor is stupid. And also, Gale, wow. Complaining at people for killing the mood. You kill the mood whenever you talk.
I was just exploring the city, seeing what I could find in every corner and building, only to stumble upon this random building and enter the elevator to reach the next floor.
You say this goes higher than the unknown radio broadcast because you have to experience the scene in its entirety should you find it. My issue is, if part of why it's higher is because you have to see the whole thing, why isn't Lavender Town higher? You have to come across it, climb the Pokemon Tower, and defeat the deceased Marowak in order to obtain the Pokeflute, which is essential to continue with the game. Say what you want about it not being extremely dark or creepy in comparison, but Lavender Town's the only mandatory thing on the list. You never have to traverse through the Strange House, never have to read Chandeler's Pokédex entry, never have to visit the ruins of Alph, and you never have to use an elevator in a hotel in Lumio City. I'm just saying, if experiencing the whole kit and caboodle is one of your judging criteria, Lavender Town should be higher, if not number 1.
Except you don't have to experience Lavender Town at all, just turn the game off.
Same can be said of all the entries. Point is, get a life.
How on earth is the point get a life? If anyone should get a life, it's you. Because you are the people harassing a grown man on the internet as if you're 13 years old. Like me. But the difference is I actually am 13 years old, so shut up.
That's too hard. I'm going back to playing Payday.
But Ryan's dead.
Well, I'll just have to get my friend to replace him.
Hey guys, I'm your new Ryan. It's not the same. It's not the same.
I am going to say that whenever people say, hey Lucario, why don't you make a video on someone other than Velicify for a change? It's not the same.
And then this happens. The music stops, I can't seem to move, and then this hex girl creeps the freak out of nowhere and says, "No, you are not the one." Yeah, quick question. Who even is this hex girl? And what is she even doing here? Actually, why is she even here?
Can you say sequel hook?
There's a hex girl.
Good to know. I can bait sequels now. As well as the fact that, was the Hex Girl ever in, like, Sun or Moon or Auraz at any point? No. Not the same one. At all.
In Hotel Rich, whatever you call it.
Dear God, these videos just give me so many pedantic word nerd moments. Is Rishi seem that fucking hard to pronounce? Like, seriously, what the fuck?
Okay, that's really, really condescending, because that's like me going up to someone with a lisp and saying, "Oh my god, is the word slip really that hard to pronounce for you?"
And before anyone screams nitpick, let me put it like this. His lack of being unable to pronounce this word can be argued as a lack of research on his part, which can bleed over into his arguments for the placement of the entries.
Who's listening to the elevator? Is this girl gonna do the same thing to another person coming out of the elevator? Wait, is this the same girl? Or are there just a ton of these hex girls stalking people coming out of elevators?
Meh, my headcanon's better.
Better be sure there's no love in that elevator.
Yeah, Gale. Complain about video padding even though you put something in the video that does not need to be there whatsoever.
What really creeps me out about this is the hex girl's model isn't even animating. Combine that with the fact that the music stops and your character doesn't move, it gives the impression the game is glitched. And we all know how creepy glitches can be.
Yeah, but the problem here is that glitches are unintentional.
But does that prove him wrong? No? Then shut up.
You mean to tell me that Game Freak didn't make that Hex Maniac just to troll players and or leave a sequel hook of some kind?
Yes, because we didn't see it in Sun and Moon. At all. Also, wow. Repeating the same point over and over again. Manga Common Co-op, anyone?
It's been about 20 years since Gen 1. Maybe you should join us in the new 10s.
Well, here's the thing, Gale. It's been a few months of that, like, since I last heard your voice. But does that mean get any less annoying? No, it doesn't.
I don't know what else to say here. This event came the heck out of nowhere, and it is by far the most disturbing and downright creepiest thing I have seen in Pokemon.
That reminds me, how's this moment even dark? Because nothing about this moment was explained, it doesn't come off as tragic or pessimistic, just creepy. Unless you're referring to dark as mysterious, but several comments you made throughout the video imply a different meaning.
There is some weird, dark, and creepy stuff in this series that makes me question just how kid-friendly it really is.
Okay, first of all, you can use multiple definitions of the same word in a video. There's no rules or no laws to stop you from doing that. It's not a problem if you actually know how to use your brain. And second of all, I think that's it. The rest of it is just meaningless comments that, to be honest, about meaningless comments, I think I've already made my point to these people, and I'm not even going to bother anymore. So, final thoughts on this video. If I had one word to say about this video, it's condescending. It is so incredibly hypocritical a lot of the time, to the point where, like, seriously, incredibly hypocritical. Like I said, maybe Gale and Velicify should do a collab. Okay, that'd actually be a pretty funny video to meme over, so I actually do hope that happens. But either way, that's really all I've got to say on the matter. Now this series is finally finished. Hallelujah. It's over. Thank you for watching this series, everyone, and being so patient for my next upload. If you like this video, hit like on it. That would be greatly appreciated. And subscribe to the channel. We have hit 20 subscribers. This is my 20 subscriber special, just saying. because I was getting so sick of this series, I didn't even know if I wanted to finish it or not. But you guys getting to 20 subscribers, you know, you really do mean the world to me, guys, and you guys are the reason I am able to keep going with this series. Also, I've got to say, leave in the comments if there are any other videos you want me to commentate on or diss, because I am planning on making a diss track on James Charles in the future at some point, but until I get a higher quality recording material, there's not really much I can do about that to get it done. So that will be released as soon as I can actually get it into production, but now I'm using Premiere Pro. It seems to be a possibility. But either way, as I mess with my GameCube a bit more, thank you very much for watching this video, guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bro fist meme.